Hello, today is 21st of January and it's Konflux Community Architecture Call. In today's agenda, we have only one topic so far, and it's from my side. So let me explain it a little bit in more details. And let me share my screen. So we have a feature under refinement, which I would like to discuss today in this call. And it's about service accounts we use for build pipelines. Initially, this feature was planned to use as improvement to isolation of build credentials, but after some investigation, we realized that it's not possible due to current Konflux design because our build pipeline currently, as you can see in the diagram, the build pipeline uses UpStudio pipeline service account. And this service account has role bindings that allow it to read every secret in the namespace. And the problem here is that we cannot do anything about that to reduce the scope because many pipelines, user pipelines, are already using custom secrets defined by user, and the names of those secrets are arbitrary. So we have many parameters in our build pipeline that says secret name, and the secret just consumed by the name. And we cannot, as I said, predict the name of the secret, so we cannot improve those. But instead, with this feature, we would like to primarily improve two things. First, it's etcd storage consumption. So there was investigation by, I guess, infra team, and it showed, so there is a link to this document, and it shows that really a lot of space is consumed by those mounts that we have to service account. Let me find better data. But the gain is quite big, and so it's worth to consider it. So the problem here to understand is that this UpStudio pipeline service account is used by any build pipeline run of any component in the namespace. And to this service account, we have mounted a lot of secrets. So those are secret from each component image repository where the build results are stored, plus user-defined secrets. But as practice shows that usually users have only a few custom secrets, like, for example, common use case would be a sneak secret and stuff like that, but they are really a few. If you look into those across many namespaces, you would see that majority of linked secrets would be push secrets from image repositories. And that in turn expands pod definitions to a huge amount of text, which in turn makes a good load to etcd, and that causes outages. So that's the problem which we have today with current model. Another problem that we want to solve is integration test pipelines still use App Studio Pipeline Service account, and they use push secrets. Despite they don't need push credential, only pull credentials are needed. So this is a draft of an implementation of an idea which I would like to discuss and get some feedback. So instead of having only one service account, we would have dedicated service account for each component. This way, we would have linked only common secrets to it, plus one push secret to the specific image repository it uses. So that would reduce a lot the consumption of etcd. Plus, to solve integration tests problem, because this would also break the previous ability of integration tests to run. So a maintenance of another service account, but this time per application, would be done, and this service account would be used by integration tests. So that's a very brief idea. Of course, it has own cons, like creating more service accounts and like making mandatory to link user-defined secrets to all components, but I hope it could be solved by UI quite easily, so end users wouldn't feel like any difference in the end. And so that's basically the idea. Also, we have an interesting proposal in the refinement doc from Adam that maybe we could still use the only one service account as we use now, but instead of creating a lot of secrets, we can try to use only one secret for all image repositories, let's say per application. This also brings some questions as well, some pros and cons, but that's a viable idea as well. So I would like you to give your thoughts, opinion, like the feature implementation is under development. I mean the plan, how to do it. So guys, please. Okay, Barak.
Yeah, just so I understand, the idea is to have a service account for each component and for each application, or am I misunderstanding it?
Yes, we want to have dedicated service account per component. So every component would have service account.
And what is going to take care of creating those service accounts in the current
Build
design?
service when we onboard component to Konflux.
All right, thanks.
But yes, this approach, okay, for GitOps, I guess it should work as well. Yeah, GitOps would create component and build service would onboard it. So yeah.
Does this mean the service account name also needs to be committed to Git? So now moving pipeline code becomes a little bit more tricky?
No, because we would name it predictably, like a component name dash something.
Yeah,
So
but it's still like it has to be done. Like it has to be in the pipeline code, right? The
yes,
account name.
that's right. We need to specify this explicitly in every pipeline definition in every user repository. That's another downside, but for this we can do a migration. We have migration 2 in progress that would create uh, migrations together with Renovate, with MintMaker. So that should be proposed to users definition as well automatically. At least that's the idea, the plan now.
Right. So just this kind of thing in particular, like it leaves, I think, the door open to all kinds of user errors because the users can change the files and they can put the wrong service account in the wrong places. So I would like you to consider having an acceptance hook or something like that that would actually kind of take care of setting the right service account according to the component labels or something along those lines. Just to kind of put the responsibility for choosing the right service account outside of the user's responsibility.
Okay, so that's an idea we need to consider. Thank you. So basically, you suggest to dynamically put that service account to pipeline run based on component label, for example.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That makes sense. We need to look into it. Any other thoughts? Yeah, Adam?
So what would be the downsides of having still just one service account with one bigger secret, like one secret for all the image repositories?
Are you asking about potential downsides of that approach?
Yeah, you mentioned it would have like some upsides, some downsides. So compared to having multiple service accounts, what would be the downsides?
Well, I guess management of such secrets, because you would have a lot of records in it. And other than that, we would give explicitly permission to push into any component repository. So right now it's still possible, but it requires, I believe, no, wait, if you mount everything, yes, that's for pull, sorry. Yeah, for push, yeah, I guess with current model we have the same because they are all like bind to service account, and yes, we would have this exactly the same behavior now. And in the end, they are combined together in the pod. Yeah, that's another viable option to consider in this. So.
Yeah. Andrew, do you have some other thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say that since we have discovered that the weakness of having multiple service accounts being linked, this work was originally being considered to try and mitigate that weakness. if we're then backtracking and say, well, we're not going to mitigate the weakness, it seems like it's a lost opportunity. So I mean, I'm not saying that not mitigating the weakness, not addressing it, certainly simplifies it. That's part of the reason why we have the design, the architecture we have today, because it was a simpler design. We only have a single service account. Trying to address that in the future in terms of resolving etcd issues is just a way to kind of take what we did before and update it for etcd, but it's not trying to consider our original design, consider the weaknesses of that original design, and identify what the path forward would be in order to mitigate those weaknesses.
Right. So you think there's still value in going for multiple service accounts because it might be a step towards addressing the weakness?
Right. If we have multiple service accounts and if we try and create a flow that has multiple service accounts, then we can make it so that users might be more comfortable with associating secrets with specific service accounts, and they might be able to achieve the isolation without having to create multiple namespaces in order to run these different builds on. And this is just that the weakness of the likelihood or the ability to expose these secrets that are linked using pipelines as code, because you might have a malicious actor that creates a commit that lists all those secrets that are found in the building context.
Thank you. Any other thoughts, suggestions, comments? Okay, so guys, if you want, you can check the feature. It's linked in the meeting document. So any feedback, thoughts are welcomed. Thank you. So I guess that's it for this topic.
Did anybody else have a topic they wanted to add to the agenda or discuss? All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if I'll be here next week. There might be a couple others that aren't here next week. So the call can certainly happen on its own if folks want to have it. If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. Thanks.
Bye.
See you.